an inch and a half. And a pencil? No? Or a pen, either way. I came equipped, right? Some demo. So I know that's the bottom of my hole. So there's no sense pointing and going anymore. So typically I'll sit there and I'll say, well, there's no sense making a big long one. So typically I'll do an inch and a half and say that's my, that's what I want to do. Mark it up. I know that's where my end is. Take too much weight off of it because then it'll start flexing. If you make this too narrow, the wood will do this on you as you're trying to finish it. So now you know you've got that lid that's going around and you want it to fit so it goes over. So I'll just guesstimate. Normally I'd have the lid with me. So you say that's your lid. So I know that lid's going to be fatter than that. So you know you've got the round coming out and matching that lip there. So you know that's as wide as you want to go. And then some acorns, they're a little bulbish, so they come out from the top and they go wide first and then go around. And others are just straight and just nick the corner long, and others nick the corners short. But either way, we'll just make this one a straight one. And because I use the weller bit, I know that hole inside slopes. So I don't have to go the full length and then start my curve. I can start my curve early because the slope inside is early. This is where you don't make a funnel. So you got weight off of it. Always check and make sure that you're going in. You can feel that inside it's getting pretty close there. So I'll just nip off a bit more on the length. Now you've got two choices. You can finish it off, but sometimes you'll have trouble with your tool getting in really close. Just making room so this tool can go around the corner. For the sake of completeness, we'll just we'll part it off. But I've got a yikes. That's not a good skew. We'll call it parted off. I've got another skew. Questions always asked, what do you do with the old tools or the tools that you don't use much? You turn them into utility tools that you need. And so it's good steel. So I've got a nice sharp, a very, very sharp, narrow pointed skew that I can just go in with this and it'll just slip around the corner and cut it off with very little sanding in between. Where's the lid? It's coming. Now to sand this, because you sand it all the way, like so I'd sand it before I parted it off, right? So it'd be part way through and you can sand this edge and then you can say, well, how am I going to sand it? The other thing to do is always remember this was fashioned for a 1.5 inch hole. So I can flatten this off. I have a dedicated piece for it. I have a piece that's already flat and has, lo and behold, this drill makes the hole. Well, that drill makes this hole, and this acorn fits that hole. So any acorn I make will always fit my test setup. I plug it in with a little bit of Kleenex or a paper towel to keep it tight, and I can sand it and finish it and polish it. And again, in a multi-stage operation, so I'll have a whole bunch of these hanging out, and I'll just put them one after the other and just pop them in. So you can sand a little bit on the edge, or you can just decide to make a jig that's built for this, and you just pop it on. Otherwise, you can also put it into a small set of internal jaws. The only problem is it's a pressure fit, so it expands. So if you get on there and leaner, you'll crack her pretty good. But otherwise, you end up with, it's not my best acorn. I tend to like them from a shape perspective. I like them to come in a little bit more up here.
Move that camera.
Can we get this on?
Sorry.
So I want the shape to coast in more. This is kind of flat, right? So I would prefer it to shape in a little bit more. The bottom's not bad, maybe a little flatter on the bottom to round out. But as you do these, you just see certain ones that you like and you just go about it. But it doesn't take long to do them. And if you show them to one person, they'll want 5 or 10, and they get around, so you end up making a lot. So the production run is definitely the way to go from that point of view. But there's your whole acorn. Any questions? Yes.
Chris, you talked about
Ron Brown.
and he likes to score his.
Yes, he has a knurling tool.
Yeah, could you just explain that? Is he doing that on the lathe?
Yes.
Could
Yeah.
you just explain that?
Well, he does that on the lathe. It's a knurling tool. So in the steel, in metalwork, you can knurl a handle, right? You put the diamonds or the little squares, bumpy squares on it. The old ratchets used to get them, and that. So it's a knurl. It's for grip. So it looks like the top of an acorn. Like when you look at an acorn, it's got little bumps in it. So he's applying a bump to it. So this tool is just a rotating wheel. There's 2 wheels on it. Have you got it up there? It does, that's a little stylized, but it'll be something along that lines from him. It puts a knurl, so it puts a pattern on it. Yeah, it puts a design pattern on it. And he'll pattern the bottom. When I did the first part at the bottom, he'll pattern that. Then when he flips it over, he'll pattern the top. And then that becomes a pattern. Too much effort from my liking.
Do we have that?
No, we do not. Yes.
Okay, in the metalworking, you put the knurl in the tool post.
Yes.
So how would you do it on that?
He did it by hand. He sells the tool on his website for $65, and it does a nice pattern and everything else. But like I said, I'm not going to pay $65 for something like that. When those people pick them up, they're nice and smooth. You finish them off right. It has a nice fit, and I sell that as a gift within a gift. And so if you've got a ring or a little piece of jewelry you want to give a niece or something like that, you can put that inside the Acorn.
Could you make one?
Make what?
Gnarling tool?
I imagine you could. You know, if you go to a steel shop, I'm not sure they have something that might do the job. A knurling tool. Yeah, I think so, but I'm not sure. He's got 2 of them? Okay.
Is it possible for
Knurling tool?
right now?
Yes. Let's hang on a second. Any other questions?
What's the largest roller bit?
1 inch.
It is, that's the largest.
Yeah, that's the largest I'll get at Lee Valley. And I would definitely recommend it. It makes life so easy because when you feel the inside of that Acorn, it's smooth. You know, I typically, when I sand, I'll take 180 and put 180 paper in with my finger and sand it a little bit just to clean off anything. And then it's done. You're done like dinner. Check with the Fruit guys there. They've got some nice router bits. They might have, in the catalog, they might have something. Any other questions? No? Good. Thanks, Dad. Was that?